Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where we talk about skincare, grooming, and sometimes hair, so if that sounds like a thing, make sure you are subscribed. Also, come and follow me on Instagram where I post a lot of stuff you're not going to see here on YouTube. Within the skincare community, it seems like there's a new ingredient every week that we need to fear and that we need to be scared of, or there's something we've been using wrong, or something's gonna kill us, I don't know. However, what this seems to stem from is people misinterpreting studies, people misquoting skincare experts, and people cherry picking, especially the media, people cherry picking data to form a new narrative around this ingredient. And also just a lack of understanding of how the chemistry works in skincare. Now, as we know, I'm not a chemist. I hope you know that. And nor do I have certifications to explain skincare in a more scientific way. I couldn't even think of the word way. So today I want to take a look at some of these demonized ingredients, let you know the actual science behind these ingredients, how they work with our skin, and how they work within a formulation in skincare. And of course, as always, I want to do this with the help of some of my favorite skincare experts that I follow online. These are people who range from dermatologists to cosmetic chemists and everything in between and either side, who have this amazing knowledge that they share with us for free on these platforms. And I urge you to go and follow these amazing experts. Before we get going, two things. I will be talking about fragrance today, something that you may not have potentially known about fragrance and how it's formulated within skincare. But I urge you to go over and check out the EcoWell, one of my favorite blogs, Instagram pages, YouTube channels, and get ready to watch the fragrance panel. There's going to be an amazing array of people in there, from dermatologists to cosmetic chemists, I think, people who work within fragrance, and of course influencers as well, talking about fragrance. And these panels are always like a nice debate, do you know what I mean? And you learn so much watching these. And go and check out the one I was in. It's about misinformation on social media. Also, before I talk about these ingredients, sorry, I have to disclaim, because people get so emotionally attached to products and skincare and ingredients. Please remember that all ingredients have the ability to irritate your skin or simply not work for you. So whilst the ingredients I'm talking about today has been largely demonized, no one is discrediting or ignoring the fact that these could potentially irritate your skin. They can, if formulated or used incorrectly, which we'll talk about in a bit. No one is discrediting or ignoring the fact that you may personally have had a reaction to this, or that this product doesn't work for your skin. But also, in the same sense, please remember that people also do not have allergies or irritations to these ingredients. It sucks that your skin hates it. My skin tends to hate a lot of hyaluronic acid, but I'm not about to ban it from every product out there, you know? So please remember that we can all use a variation of skincare products. We can all have fun with skincare. If something doesn't work for you, don't use it. It's that simple. So let's talk about the latest demonized, most hated ingredient in all the skincare realm, and that is witch hazel. Two witch hazel heavy products I've used, I guess, is the Boots Tea Tree and Witch Hazel Cleansing and Toning Lotion. Horrible product. Hated this. Still hate it. Also the Fenty Skin Pore Refining Fat Water. I love this. Still love it. Still use it. Both contain witch hazel as its main ingredient, so why did I love one and hate the other? Formulation. When the Fenty skincare reviews came around, everyone seemed to take an immediate disliking to the fat water because one of its main ingredients was witch hazel water. Everyone immediately presumed it was bad for them, that it was going to dry them out, it was dry and contained tannins, and that was going to destroy our skin. However, much like the majority of the ingredients today we'll be talking about, it's the dose that makes the poison. I like to direct you to this Instagram post by Dr. Ranella Hirsch, board certified dermatologist, title Witch Hazel is not the devil. One of the key points she makes in this post is that witch hazel varies in its distillation process from brand to brand, product to product. Also, witch hazel can be distilled from different plants of the witch hazel shrub, so your leaves, the sticks, the bark, making it different. Brie is a mess in here. Brie. You usually find witch hazel in products that are usually formulated to help remove excess oil, excess sebum, and these products usually contain a high amount of alcohol as well. I know, like, looking back on my teenage years, like the Boots Witch Hazel Toner, whilst variations of it has always existed, not this exact one. Because I had oily skin, I thought it was like the best idea to remove as much excess oil from my skin as possible. My skin would get very, very dry and irritated, and I would think this was a witch hazel irritation when it wasn't, because I use witch hazel now and I'm fine. Witch hazel has a particularly bad reputation because it contains something called tannins. Tannins are actually known to be antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and as I mentioned, this is why we see it in a lot of skincare aimed at teenagers, people with acne. However, they are believed to be bad for skin over time. They're believed to cause inflammation. And I've also seen a lot of people say that they work just like denatured alcohol and can dry out your skin. Dr. Hirsch makes it very clear that there is no research backing this up whatsoever. And also reminds us that green tea, rosehip oil, some of our favorite ingredients that we never demonize, they actually have higher tannic acid levels than witch hazel. But they've not been demonized in the same way. So if you don't want to use witch hazel because of its tannins, you might want to avoid green tea, which sounds ridiculous, right? She rounds up the post by saying that whilst this isn't really such a bad ingredient, of course, no one ingredient is universal, and that the main side effect of witch hazel is actually allergic reactions because after all, it is a botanic ingredient. So if you have very, very dry skin, you may of course want to avoid astringents, but also there are some amazing toners with witch hazel in that have really nice moisturizing ingredients in, like the Fenty Skin Fat Water. And again, it's all about the formulation, and if you are using witch hazel and you absolutely love it, keep using it. That's with everything. Keep using it if it's working for you. Alcohol, denatured alcohol. I'm actually just bored of talking about this now. Any product I talk about, people are like, but that has alcohol in. Over on TikTok, I see people saying this product's bad because it's got alcohol in it. We are talking denatured alcohol. We know this isn't the devil ingredient that a lot of people make it out to be, even though it's considered a bad alcohol. You have your good, you have your bad. Denatured alcohol is bad, supposedly. Like witch hazel, this is an ingredient we often see very high up on the ingredient list, and a product that a lot of us will put straight back on the shelf because it's high up on the ingredient list. One of my favorite Instagram profiles is Skin Chemi. She is a cosmetic chemist and chemistry graduate who makes skincare science super, super easy to understand with these nice graphics and pictures. I'm a visual learner, so this is an amazing profile for me to just scroll through and spend hours looking through and learning. One of her latest posts explains the difference between good and bad alcohols in air quotes, and why bad isn't always bad. First of all, we need to understand why is denatured alcohol or ethyl alcohol in our skincare. Skin Chemi explains that amongst other things, alcohol can actually make the texture of the product a lot lighter. For me personally, as someone with oily skin, I enjoy this kind of use of alcohol in my skincare. It helps with the penetration of other ingredients, and it's also a preservative as well. The reason a lot of people have this bad image and idea of denatured alcohol being immediately drying is because of all the teenage targeted crap skincare that we used to use in our teenage days. Clearasil, Oxy, Clean and Clear, so heavy in alcohol that they dry us out, and often just poorly, horribly formulated. Like, these products aren't meant to be there to use to feel nice like a lot of the skincare we have nowadays. They're in there just to get a job done. I've used some horrible, horrible gel moisturizers on my skin that actually just felt like hand sanitizer, you know? Horribly formulated skincare. The fact is that whilst alcohol can be drying and irritating in high concentrations, Skin Chemi reminds us that brands just don't do that anymore. But also, you have to look at the product you're using. I hold up moisturizers with alcohol in and people say, but that's got alcohol in, it's going to dry out my skin. It's in a moisturizer. It's not going to dry out your skin if it's in a moisturizer. Think about it. So whilst dry skin may find alcohol-heavy products too drying, and my oily skin may tolerate it well, denatured alcohol shouldn't always be an immediate no for you. Think about the product you're buying. Again, it's the dose that makes the poison. If you want more information about why even in higher concentrations, denatured alcohol might not be as bad as we think it is, Michelle from Lab, Muffin, Beauty Science, and Stephen from @KindofStephen, they go into much, much more detail about the actual science and the reason why people believe denatured alcohol dries out your skin. You can check out the video and the blog post. I'll link it all in the description box down below. For me personally, even as someone with oily skin, I avoid alcohol-heavy toners, but I don't mind moisturizers with it in. Fragrance, the debate of 2020 that I'm not going to go into because, as I said, please go and watch the panel over on the Eco Well. The date is here. It's going to be so interesting. I think we're all going to learn so much from it. I really want to see both sides of the conversation, and I think whether you are okay with fragrance or you're not, I think we should all watch it and really learn from the experts and see what they have to say. However, I want to share this post by Annalisa at Skin Perspective because I mentioned her profile loads, but again, it's one of those Instagram profiles where it's just so easy to learn the science behind skincare. She is a cosmetic formulator, And she lets us know a very interesting fact about fragrance. Let me show you this graph. So other than essential oils, most synthetic, natural and nature identical ingredients can be designed to avoid known allergens. I thought this was super interesting. You should go read her post for more. She also has some very interesting information in the post about the difference between allergic reactions and irritation. So the fact that these can avoid known allergens, which is what builds up over time. You know, one day you may suddenly have a reaction to it. That could possibly be the allergy building up over time, whatever. Irritation, you see pretty much immediately within first contact. Here's a picture of me having a irritation to a product. You know, it's very, very obvious. So I thought that was super interesting that in fact, a lot of fragrance can be made to be irritation free, allergen free, sorry. I thought that was super interesting. Okay, final one, and I quote, this is another one of the latest and quickest spreading myths, I guess, or misinformation and demonized product, and that's alpha hydroxy acid, in particular, glycolic acid. So this is, and I quote, people of color shouldn't use glycolic acid higher than 5%. I'm not sure where this stems from really, but the skincare community has been talking about it non-stop. Over on TikTok, Twitter, skincare Twitter, just follow the estheticians on there. They're all amazing. They're so blunt to the point where it's like, that's bullshit. That's correct. That's fact. That's not what you're talking about. I love it. But yeah, it seems to be founded in a lot of misinformation and non-truths. First of all, people of color is such a broad term. It seems that what people mean is black people, black skin. I don't understand why people can't just say black skin. You're not being offensive if you say black people. Technically, I'm a person of color, and look at me. Look how white I am, you know? So black skin should not use glycolic acid higher than a concentration of 5%. This was a new concept to me, so I went onto Instagram and I asked all my expert friends, scientists, dermatologists, everyone, put out a post asking them to get in touch and let me know what this is about. And the overall consensus is that actually every single person said that this is absolute bullshit. They didn't use that term, but it's not founded in any truth or fact. There's very minimal studies. And this is another problem actually as well. There aren't enough studies for black skin when it comes to literature, when it comes to testing ingredients, products. It's a whole other video, but there is not enough done for black skin. A whole different video. I won't get into it now. There's an esthetician on Instagram who I follow called Deja, and in my opinion, she summed up this perfectly in her video. She summed up the misinformation and the truth perfectly. So I encourage you to go and watch that Instagram TV. I'll link it down below with everything. But to quote Deja, black skin is absolutely fine to use glycolic acid. So the fear behind here is that glycolic acid may cause pigmentation in darker skin tones, which Deja reminds us that yes, of course, if used incorrectly, any acid can do this to you. So mandelic or lactic acid, which at the moment is being pushed as the safer options for people with black skin. They aren't safer because glycolic acid isn't unsafe. Every acid can be used incorrectly. You just have to use everything correctly. Not her quote, my quote. Because she wouldn't say that that was a terrible quote. For example, I think this stems from the Ordinary's AHA peeling solution, that one. And a lot of people use that wrong. And we see this a lot on Instagram and TikTok. So of course it's gonna cause irritation. Deja also lets us know that the idea of glycolic acid not being great for black skin is because the molecule sizes are smaller. It means it penetrates faster and could in turn do some damage faster, I guess. Again, stems from no evidence or no research whatsoever. As with everyone, you've got to be careful with the percentage, you've got to be careful with your skin, you've got to listen to your skin, you've got to be careful that you're not using too much. So yes, please go check out her Instagram TV. I'm so tired and I think that last bit was a bit of a mess. I'm finally moving hopefully next week. We'll see. I'm not, whatever. So to round it up, I feel like a lot of us are very quickly, we very quickly jump on a skincare, not trend, but a skincare question and a bit of a misinformation and be like, oh shit, I didn't know that. Or, oh my God, I can't believe that, you know, I've been using glycolic acid for years and I shouldn't be. And these bits of misinformation spread so fast. And we actually need to think critically, like, you know, just because we aren't experts or scientists, it doesn't mean we can't do some critical thinking. And I think, who is this person who started this? What are their qualifications? What's their background? What is their interaction on a daily basis with people's skin? As I said, it feels like every week there's something we need to fear now. So we need to take a step back and remember that our skincare isn't trying to hurt us. There isn't unsafe cosmetics because legally your cosmetics have to be safe. And yes, everything is regulated. So whilst there are allergens and irritations, again, they are safe because it doesn't cover everyone. So whilst people have allergic reactions and irritation to certain ingredients, the vast majority of people won't. So we do need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and not think, oh, just because I don't like this, no one else should be able to use it. That comes to everything. Fragrance, hyaluronic acid, which I find very irritating. Some people can't use BHA, some people can't use AHAs. Doesn't mean it should be banned for everyone, you know. So we need to let people enjoy skincare as well. If they're not having a problem with something, let them use it. It's absolutely fine. If someone's doing their routine and they love this witch hazel toner, don't be like, you shouldn't be using that because it's bad for you. It's clearly not if it's working for them, you know? As I said, please check out the list of experts below. These are people who I feel aren't biased on their posts. They educate based on science and experience and not personal opinions or fear-mongering, and they continue to give us amazing free resources, skincare science and skincare knowledge that we can all really benefit from. So I hope that was interesting. I hope we've all learned something today. I know I have over the last week, but that's it from me now. I will see you next time.